Hey there, it is Laura Duffy, and I'm with Mainly Birthing. I'm back again talking this week about the third trimester. That's right, 1, 2, 3. So you are in the final days. Today we're going to talk about signs to look for when it's close to being that time, because I know we're all waiting for it to be that time. So I just want to let you know that when you are to term, when it is a good time for you to have a baby, is between 37 and 42 weeks. So yeah, that's kind of a big area for you to be okay with. But 5% of babies are born on their expectant date, and so you have like a 35-day window. So if you have a baby at 37 weeks, it's fine. If you have a baby at 42 weeks, it's fine. It's all within the terminology of term. So just don't worry about that and try not to focus on your expectant date. So that being said, if you are getting close to like 37, 38, 39 weeks, things that you may be experiencing and probably are, restlessness, getting like really ready to have the baby now. Like I've been pregnant for quite a while. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling ready. I want to have a baby, just a little restless, maybe not sleeping really well. Another thing you might be doing is nesting, like really just hunkering down in your home, getting everything prepared, making sure you got the blankets, the food, the pillows, the baby's room is all ready. All of these things are totally, totally normal things that you may be doing getting ready for the main event. You might also be having some discomfort in your lower back. What happens is as baby moves their way down, you're going to feel that as baby's getting in position and moving their way down, you might get some discomfort in your back, and you can breathe through that. It's totally all right. It's interesting with labor and birth, there are so many variables. For example, you might be close to your expectant date and you might have diarrhea. And someone will tell you, ooh, you might be going to go into labor. You might also be constipated, and somebody else might say, ooh, you might be going to go into labor. So there are so many different things that could mean you're going into labor. But it is also good signs of things are happening. So that being said, you could notice that you're getting cervical change. So cervical change means your cervix is starting to open up or dilate, and it's starting to thin down or efface. So cervical change would be a sign of that would be having like a mucousy discharge. Because yes, as someone who's going to have a baby, you get the honor of having a mucus plug. That's right. It's this amniotic seal that keeps baby safe and happy. And when this comes out, you'll have like a gelatinous discharge and possibly something seeming like a gelatinous tampon. Totally normal, totally fine. Just giving you a heads up so you know. Now, if this happens, you will definitely call your care provider, and you'll be aware that things are happening. As it turns out, and with, if you have more than one baby, your mucus plug can actually grow back. So that, is also a sign. So mucousy discharge, is it a sign? Yes. You still don't know when baby will be coming, but it is a sign that things are happening. And then you might get spotting. Again, totally normal. It could be like a red tinge, totally normal. When you start to open and to dilate, there could be some blood, and that's totally fine. Call your care provider, tell them what's going on. They'll assure you that you're fine and everything is good. Another thing that you might be experiencing is waves. Now, in your third trimester, there's a chance you'll be having Braxton Hicks. A lot of women I've spoken with, they don't even realize that they're having Braxton Hicks. Like their belly will get really, 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 really firm, and then it'll just release and relax, and they don't experience any discomfort. And so when you have that experience, you think, well, that can't possibly be a Braxton Hicks, but it actually is. It's your uterus getting ready. And sometimes you might have some discomfort with that, and you can just breathe through it. Just breathe through everything that's happening, because what your body wants is airflow and blood flow. So when you give that breathing with it, it can help with that, promise. So differentiating between Braxton Hicks and actual waves, it would be how strong are they? Can you walk through them? Like if you're feeling it, can you just keep walking and do what you're doing? Or are they stopping you in your place? Like if they're stopping you in your place and holding down what you're doing, then there's a strong chance that that's more on the line of a wave or a contraction. So what you want to do is, first off, if you do start experiencing waves, have a nice big glass of water, because if mom is dehydrated at all, her body will start to have surges. So have a nice big glass of water, see if you're still having waves. If they are, just be aware of when they start to make a pattern. Because sometimes people have a wave and they'll have a wave 5 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 4 minutes later, half an hour later. It's just very random. When they start to make a pattern, like every 7 or 8 minutes, you have a wave. And that pattern lasts for an hour. That's a good sign that things are, starting to get where they need to be going. There's something called the 411 or the 511. So basically, when your pattern starts to be every 4 or 5 minutes, you have one wave, and that pattern is for an hour. Then you probably want to get to wherever you're birthing. So if you're having a home birth, the midwives will want to come in your direction. If you're having a birth center birth or a hospital birth, it's probably a good time to get going towards them. So just being aware of that. And then another very classic way of knowing when you're going into labor is your water. If your water breaks, now that being said, your water can break and you can have a big gush. It's totally fine. Your water can break and you have like a little trickle. Also totally fine. Your water can break and you can also not be in labor at that point. So that being said, if your water breaks and there's no color, there's no odor like green or brown, then that's a good thing, because if there was a color, that means baby would have had a bowel movement. You'd want to go right to the hospital. If there is no color or odor, there might be like a white cheesy like substance, and that's vernix. It's all over baby's skin. It's totally normal. So if your water releases, there's no color, there's no odor, you're not suddenly having a lot of waves, then you still have time. You really want to wait to go with the waves. So yes, those are all things that could happen. And also, your water might not release or break until baby's being born. And that's actually super cool. It's not super common, but it's super cool. It's totally healthy. And there's a French term on cal, ENCAUL, and that's when baby is born in the amniotic sac. So many variables, so many things to think about. But the main thing is to really just focus on following the lead of your body. Like I said, you have like a 35-day window of perfectly safe time for baby to be born. So try not to focus on June 1st. Be like the end of May or the beginning of June, and just focus on your body. Just what are you feeling? And if you start to have waves, one of my favorite things that one of my midwife friends told me was, just keep doing what you would normally do until you can't do it anymore. If the waves are really stopping you in your tracks, you've had water, you're hydrated, then things are probably going to be happening soon, or sooner than later. So yes, those are just some quick tips on how to know, oh my gosh, is it time? Because there are so many things and such a variety of things that could tell you it's time, but just following the lead of your body is really the best. So I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope you're staying healthy and happy and hydrated. I'm going to be back tomorrow with more on the third trimester, and then next week we start our challenge. So I can't wait to see you soon. Have a lovely evening, and we will be in touch. Bye, everyone.